Hi, everyone. Amy Starr Allen here. And I am joined today by my good friend, Nick Bramble. And I'm excited for the conversation that we're going to have today. Um, Let me just give Nick a proper introduction and I'll let him say whatever else he wants to say about his background. But he's the founder of the 30-minute workday. He's an industry veteran. He's been marketing online for probably even longer than I have, a couple decades, I think. And he's our behind the scenes ninja and marketing genius in the Home Business Academy. And he's just a high integrity, heart centered, very open minded. He's a good friend. And he's completely committed to helping people attain freedom in their lives. And that's kind of what he's always working on behind the scenes. He's very humble. He doesn't take a lot of credit for all the things that he does inside of our community, but his level of expertise and his heart really have provided so much for our community inside of the Home Business Academy. And so I wanted to bring him out today to kind of talk about some new developments that have happened and just to give you guys kind of a behind the scenes look at the amount of thought that went into we have a new super funnel and kind of a whole new bunch of new stuff in place. So I wanted to bring Nick out to talk about all of that. So how are you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing really, really well. Thanks for having me on. Super appreciative of it.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like it's good to bring you out to just, like I said, you're so often you're behind the scenes, you're quiet, you're back there like a ninja, mad scientist, I always like to say, like doing all this cool stuff for us. But it's there's a lot of people that don't even get to have a conversation with you or really hear some of the thoughts that go into some of the things that you create. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about the new funnel that you just created for our company is because I know that when it was being developed, you reached out to me, and I know you reached out to some other leaders in the company as well. And you just really wanted feedback about what people wanted and didn't want with the development of this new funnel. So I just really appreciate that about you, that it's not about like what you think it should be, but it really is like kind of a mastermind. And so, I know in the Home Business Academy, there were already a bunch we have all of these done for you funnels in there that all work really well and that were already in place. So I guess my first question for you is why you decided or saw a need for another one, another way, something else for people to be able to share with their audiences to educate people about what we have here.
Yeah. I think the main idea behind it was because one of the great things about HBA and what we're doing here and what's been built over the course of I think like the last 10 years is that um, the community here is really, really, really amazing. And so when you are doing traditional, affiliate marketing, maybe you are marketing a product or a service or, something like that. You've got a list or an audience that has a need. And so you say, okay, here's this thing that I have will fill this need. But what we really wanted to do was build something that people who absolutely loved what we were doing here from like a higher level, from like a mission standpoint, could plug in and like recommend what's going on here as a whole, recommend, what Mike and Paul have been building sort of as this whole thing, this whole mission, this whole people who wanted to build something that would help others get free, which is my personal mission is totally in alignment with Mike and Paul and HBA, which is why I'm here. but we wanted to be able to attract people who just loved what was going on here, but also give them a way to build a real business based on real skills and based on things that they would actually use. One of the awesome things about HBA is that the things that are here are the things that you absolutely need to build any business, whether you want to be an affiliate or whether you want to build your own things, or no, really, no matter what you want to build online, the things that are here are necessities. It's not like, maybe I'll get this or maybe I'll get that, or it's just something I'll need in the future. I mean, you need it right now and you need it all the time. And so, we wanted to really be focused on, getting people who were, number one, aligned with the mission, but also understood that the things that are here are things that you need. And the cool thing about, having, things that you need as things that you also can use as, affiliate products, is that, they turn into a really long-term, substantial, residual income. And the only way to build what I call a freedom income is to, build something from a residual standpoint. So we wanted to do it again in a way that brought in people that were aligned with the mission, that knew that they needed skills and tools and resources to be able to build something, and that also gave them the opportunity to build something long term, something residual, and just something that they could be proud of. Yeah, Amy, you were a part of a what I call a quote unquote system that I had built prior to what we're doing here. And the problem with things like that, it was really awesome from a growth standpoint. We had grown that membership to we topped out at about 65,000 members over the course of just a few months. But one of the issues we ran into was that we were building sort of a society of system people who just wanted to click buttons and come in and buy this or buy that because they were going to make money on it, not because they ever planned on using it, or because they wanted to learn the skill, or because they wanted to, from a broader standpoint, from this mission standpoint, not really because they wanted to help anybody else out long term. It was just sort of, how can I make money, how can I make money quickly? And when you do things like that, it really brings in a crowd that, I personally, and I know you, Amy, and, the leadership here at HBA and all this amazing community, that's not what we are here for. We are a very people first community. And so we want to build something that helps people long term and isn't just, like this money grab type system thing. And systems are awesome. Basically what an affiliate business is, a system. But if you treat it as nothing more than, like the next shiny object that I can, buy this just because it makes me money, then you're not going to serve yourself, number one, because you're never going to get the skill or learn how to use the tools. And number two, you're not going to serve anybody else long term. And if you're not serving people long term, you are not going to make it long term in any industry, whether it be affiliate marketing or anything else. So that's really why we wanted to put this together the way that we did.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm such a huge fan of residual income too. Like, I think a lot of people think it's just some like fantasy, but I know for myself, I know you've had a lot going on this summer. I've had just a lot going on in my life, and I'm so grateful that to have residual income coming in, even when I'm not, when I'm traveling or, just going through some life challenges or whatever, to have this income coming in. And it's not just residual income. I mean, I've built residual income in other companies where it was like, especially when there's multiple levels, like this is a 1-tier affiliate program. So we get paid 80% commissions period. Like it doesn't have to get divided up among multiple levels where, I've had residual income in the past where it was like, 5% on this level. And then if people actually like were in action and brought in other people, then maybe you make a little bit higher percentage on the next level or whatever. But to have an 80% residual commission is just life-changing. And so, I think it's so cool that you have put this process in place to attract the people that are actually looking for that, in addition to having the best tools and training that we need to build our businesses as well. It's just such a beautiful package that we have here, and the residual income is legit. It's real. It's not some sort of a pipe dream.
Right. If I can interrupt for just a second, the residual income thing, I think, like what you were talking about with the, the 5%, or I get 2% here, and then as it goes down, I get all these smaller percents and stuff like that. Sort of that, multi-level marketing type model. I think it's why people don't understand residual income, because when you say residual income, people are like, oh, that's kind of like this MLM thing where I gotta, build these huge teams and all this sort of stuff. And the cool thing about, what's going on here at HBA is, like you said, you get 80% commissions. And if you're looking at, the products that we have, you could bring in one customer a week for a year, and I won't get into specifics, but just to give an example, you could bring in one customer a week per year into HBA, and you could replace an income for about 95% of the population on just one customer. And so the thing that I think gets lost is that, in that traditional like MLM type model, which is where people's minds tend to go when they see residual income. For example, I built an MLM company once a few years back, and I had like 2,000 members on my total team, and I never ever made, my highest check there was $2,000 for the month. And you're talking about, if you could come over here and do one sale a week, which is 52 total sales, right, over the course of a year. If you, maintain your customer base, if you treat your people well, if you're building a business, based on, the cool thing is, again, that it's based on things that people need. And so, when you're giving people things that they need and that they need to use long term, if you treat your customers well, they're not going to go anywhere. And so if you've got, for example, 50 or 60 long-term customers here, that's walkaway income, residual income for, like I said, like 95% of all of population.
Yeah. Well, and the 80% commissions are another reason why a lot of people are not going to go anywhere, because they can get their products. These are incredible products. Like, for example, we have this funnel builder, page builder tool where you can build membership sites and do all of the things that all of these other much more expensive products on the marketplace can do. Not only is it a lot more cost effective at $25 a month, but because of the 80% commissions, if you refer one person to it, you're getting $20 back. So now you're only paying $5 for a platform to build membership sites and funnels and capture pages and all of this stuff, a really beautiful platform. And then if you refer it to two people, now you're in profit. Now you're getting paid $40 and you're only paying $25. So your tool is free. And so I think it's just another important thing to mention, is that because of the 80% commissions, people stick around because they're able to get their tools and their training. We have incredible masterminds and a whole dashboard of training to teach people how to market and convert their leads. And that's all same thing. You get paid 80% commission for that. So you can get access to this incredible community and all of this training and all of these masterminds free pretty quickly by referring just a couple people. And so not only is it a beautiful thing as far as being able to get your stuff paid for right away, but it is, I believe, a big part of the reason why the attrition is so low in this company because there's just not a lot of other places you can go to make 80% commissions and get your stuff paid for so fast, which is why people end up falling away because they don't want to keep spending the money on the stuff. But, you know, the
Right.
80% commissions definitely.
And the fact that people stick is another great reason to have a good way for people who believe in what we're doing here to build an affiliate business based on our products. Because again, if you are looking for people who are aligned with your mission, our mission is helping people build businesses that, let them be free to do whatever it is that, they want to do. And being aligned with that mission means that, you actually, if you want to help your people, you must recommend, some sort of page builder, funnel building tool, and you must recommend some sort of ongoing training to your people. If your goal for them, if the end result for, your customer is to help them get to, being able to build a business online that gives them freedom, they need those two things. And so the cool thing about building around your mission and your values and your goals for, your audience and your customers is that the things that are here are things that they need long term. So just by, being aligned with that mission, you're going to build a business that is serving your customers, and like you said, with the 80% commissions, is going to pay you long term. And it's just sort of like a beautiful marriage of doing things the right way for every reason, and then everything working out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the things I love about this whole the new stuff that we have in place here is how you came up with this application process. I know we had talked beforehand, and I know, like I said, you were in touch with a lot of other leaders and stuff. But one of the things that you were very adamant about was making sure that we're attracting the right people. And we always, in our community, we always talk about attracting the people that if we were stuck on a desert island, who are the people we'd want to be stuck on that island with? I mean, there's a lot of people that are maybe like ninja marketers, or they know how to like go after shiny objects and make a lot of money, but they're not necessarily the same mindset as the people in our community who are servant leaders and heart-centered people. And so can you talk a little bit more about that application process and why you decided to do it that way?
Yeah, it's basically comes from experience. I've done this wrong a couple of times, and I don't know if we talked about this last time we spoke, or I know I've talked about it inside of some of the the products we have inside of HBA in terms of finding your ideal customer. I've done it so incorrectly and brought in just anybody into what I was doing, and um, I actually got death threats a number of years ago from just bringing in the wrong kinds of people who had wrong expectations, and that sort of thing. That was my first like real look into who are you bringing into your business? Why are you bringing them in? What how do you want to serve people? Because listen, I get it. This was early on in my marketing career, so we're going back lots and lots of years, well over a decade. So I understand wanting to build a business quickly, and wanting to establish income for yourself, and all of those things. But the number one thing, the thing that I start with now and in all of my training, and where everybody should start, is who do I want to serve, and why do I want to serve them, and what's the overall result that I think that I can help them get, and be super super specific with it, because if you're going out and you're just promoting things because you want to make money, and you don't really stand behind what you are marketing, and it's just sort of a money grab thing, or a system thing, or a shiny object thing, which is what I was doing when I got those death threats. It's really because if I'm being honest, I was recommending things to people that weren't, I shouldn't have been recommending those those things, right? It was basically the latest shiny object. I knew that, I had enough skill to go out and market it, that I could market it and I could make money. But long term, was it really serving people? Long term, was it even going to be around long term? And, of course, no, was the answer to both of those questions. And then I actually, to go back to the 30-minute workday, we did a lot of things right there, brought in a lot of really, really good people who are still here now. But we also appealed to a systems crowd, right? The people who just want to come in and, promote something and make money and push buttons and not really learn skills, and they don't really have a good sense of, who they want to help and why they want to help them and what result they want to, get for them. When you do that, you're setting yourself up for, kind of a nightmare situation where the reason we talk about, being on an island with people, if you think about it, for example, if I'm going to take my wife and my children and my family and we're going to plan this really amazing vacation and we're excited about it. And, when we get there, the place might be beautiful. Like some of these systems and things like that, they're beautiful, right? They look shiny, they look fantastic. But all of the people on the inside are just make you absolutely miserable. Aren't they? Have totally different, values and morals and ethics and goals and all that sort of stuff. You are probably going to have a pretty miserable vacation, even though you might be on the most beautiful island ever. If you have surrounded yourself with people who, maybe you can't even tolerate, it's going to be a tough go. And so, of all the things we did right with the 30-minute workday, it sort of turned into a more systematic thing, which is why we transitioned away from that. But when you are working with people that that you actually would want to be on that island with, that you'd plan dinners with, that you'd planned retreats and escapes, and you'd want to sit down and go out to dinner or whatever with them and just hang out, then you're setting yourself up. Now you've got this beautiful island, this business, right? And you are surrounded by people that allow you to really enjoy, that island or that business. And so, number one, I would always recommend people just take a step back and understand, who specifically do I want to help. For example, I help people who want to get free from whatever their current job is, right? And so I know the language of that, because that's where I was. And to help those people who might listen to this, who are like, well, I don't really even know who specifically I want to serve. Who are you? Where are you at in your journey? Why did you start your journey? Like, I started this journey because I knew in my heart from a really, really young age, I absolutely was not going to make it in a 9-to-5 world for, 40, 50, 60 years, doing something that I wasn't necessarily passionate about, and, taking up all my time. And, even if you kind of like something, if you are spending 40 to 60 hours a week somewhere for the best 40 to 60 years of your life, you're missing out on all of the things that you really probably want to do with your life. And for me, I knew from a young age I didn't want to do that. And so I speak to people who are in that situation, who are hardworking people, who do things the right way, who have careers or jobs or things like that, but that know in their heart that they were meant to do something else, something more, something different, and just meant to be free to be able to make the choices, on the fly, as their dreams and goals and purposes change and things like that. So that's how I can speak to, a certain audience. And, from just a training standpoint to help people out, go to that place where you're at right now. And how would you want to help you get out of, where you're at right now?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I love the depth of the training that you do inside to really help people understand how everything works as far as finding your perfect customer and how to, market. I mean, all of that stuff is taught. I was just talking about this the other day about I've been involved in a lot of things as an affiliate. I love affiliate marketing. I love being able to share the things that I personally use with people and get, to be able to get paid for doing that. But I've never been in an affiliate marketing program before where you could actually learn how to be an affiliate marketer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, here's your link. If you want to share it with people, you get a commission. It's not just, there's that, but there's also, let me teach you the foundational principles of marketing, the stuff that's been around that stands the test of time. This is not like the latest greatest Facebook strategy or some kind of tactic that changes over time. It's like you have taken the time to go in and really teach people the foundational principles of marketing, and then why affiliate marketing is such a powerful model and why it's important to have some really well-paying residual products that pay residual income, and like all of that is taught in there, and I love that. I also feel like
one of those things about affiliate marketing, again, it's a misconception, sort of like, residual income, is that, well, with affiliate marketing, everything's done for me, which, a lot of it is, which is the beauty of it, right? You don't have to create the products and a lot of the websites and, a lot of the, the back end stuff and the customer service and, a lot of that stuff is handled for you. But the thing about, affiliate marketing is from, building a business standpoint, there are a lot of things that are the same as if you were building your own thing, right? You get to take out all of like the hard, techie, time consuming, expensive stuff that you don't want to do, like build stuff and handle merchant accounts and customer service and, had to deal with products and all that sort of stuff, which is amazing. It takes away, 90% of the hard work, but there's still that 10% that you have to do in any business, right? And so anything that I build and anything that I built over the last, several years is built on, foundational principles. Like, I want people to have the skills to be able to build what they want to build, because you can't just come in, to any business, even affiliate marketing, and just, get the link and start throwing it out there and I'm going to get rich and retire. That's not how it works. You still have to know those foundational principles of building a business. And, the cool thing about HBA, one of the things that really made me want to, plant my flag here and stay here for a long time is that it's based on principles, right? And the cool thing about principles is that they never change. Marketing, really, people think that, it's changed, from, whatever, the last 50 or 100 years or whatever. It has never, ever changed. The principles are exactly the same. We do things differently, where, for example, we're on social media instead of, actually networking with people. We're on videos like this instead of, relying on, TVs and, maybe a VHS or a CD or something like that. And, we do podcasts instead of, radio and stuff like that. But the principles that make it all run, that make it all work, have always been the same, and they will never change. And so, even inside of, like, the Freedom Launchpad, which is a product that you get inside of the Freedom Shortcut funnel, it goes over, those basic core principles that you can use for the rest of time. And so the cool thing about it, like you said, Amy, is that you can come in, you can go through you can get set up, have all your affiliate stuff, ready to go, but then go through the Freedom Launchpad, for example, and now you actually have the foundational skill to run a business long term. So that, and the reason that that's important is that you may change what you want to do, and you may want to go build your own thing. You may want to start building around different products. You may just want to be in a different company or whatever. Life happens to every person, every company. You never know what's going to happen. But if you have the skill to do this, and it's based on principles that never change, you can take that skill with you for the rest of your life and do whatever you want to do. And so I really love that the focus here is getting people those principles, getting people those skills, and yeah, giving them something that's super cool that they can just plug into and get, 80% commissions without most of that hard work. But there is still, a level of skill and a level of principle. And that's why we wanted to go with that application process, because we want to make sure that we are speaking to people who understand that, yeah, almost all of the hard stuff is done for you, just like in all of affiliate marketing. But if you aren't here to serve people, and if you aren't here to serve yourself by giving yourself the skills to do this long term, then it's probably, not the place for you. And you're gonna feel like you're drowning really quickly, because our goals aren't going to be aligned.
Mm-hmm. And I love, and I think it's worth mentioning as well, that we have people in our community who are taking the principles that they're learning and the skills that they're learning and using the tools that we have available to build their own stuff. Like, we have Christy, who's in the home baking niche, who built a membership site using our platform and learned everything she knows about marketing from inside of our training and our community. And so I love that, we have people that, being an affiliate marketer, maybe it's not their main thing, but they're still able to take the training and learn the principles and use the tools that we have here and put it to work in whatever is their thing. And we can do both. And that's the beauty of it, because since, most of the work is done for us as an affiliate, there's just, that's one of the things I love about it is, I've created a lot of my own products and stuff over the years as well. And I love doing that. But to me, it makes more sense to get paid 80% to have none of the other responsibilities. Like, I don't have to build anything. I don't have to manage it. I don't have to have customer service. I don't have to set up my payment processors. Like, that's all done for me. I would rather get paid 80% and not have to do any of that than get paid 100% and have all that extra time, energy, employees, whatever, going on to be able to manage that. It just makes more sense to me.
And to speak to that, this, if you were to build your own thing, and I don't want to, if what you want to do is build your own thing, then all of the tools and resources and training and community is here to help you do that long term. And like Amy said, we have people building, things in the baking industry and in the podcasting industry and the finance industry. There was a couple more that are escaping me, but basically whatever you want to build, you can build here. And like I said, because the tools and the training here are things that you absolutely need, you can build whatever you want. The neat thing is that, and like I said, Amy, you probably know this, even building your own stuff, it's really, really hard to get an 80% commission take from that. After you pay for, all of the, the building of it and maybe the design and your merchant accounts, and you're paying hosting fees and all this other sort of stuff, and I've done this before as well. It's really hard to, figure out how to get, much more than 80%. Maybe you're going to get 85% or 88 or something like that, but you've got to do all the hard stuff too. And the cool thing about having it all done for you is you get almost what you would have gotten if you built it yourself, which is why Mike and Paul are amazing. There are companies and there are people that say that they're people first, but then there are people who actually prove it. And, one of the ways that Mike and Paul do that is by giving up almost all of the income. And then, on top of what they give up in commissions and 80%, they're also donating a percentage of, everything that comes into HBA to, feed children across the world. So it's like, like I said, some people say they're people first, but other people will actually, go out and prove it. And Mike and Paul are proving that with beyond a shadow of a doubt. But again, if what you want to do is build something, everything that you need is here, from the tools to the training to the community. But at the same time, I know Amy and I are in agreement that it's so much more freeing to recommend something that you can recommend with your entire heart and feel good about, feel proud about, feel passionate about, and have no qualms about recommending anybody to the products and tools and services that we have here, and just feel amazing about it, and get 80% commissions that way. Then what you're building is a business that you can actually, be completely free from. One of the neatest messages I saw posted in our chat was actually from you, Amy. And this was, I think it was like the beginning of summer or something like that. But, you were speaking to the fact that you and your daughter were out on a hike, just enjoying, each other, enjoying nature, enjoying something that you love to do. And I think your daughter started getting commission notifications for something. And then you started getting commission notifications for something. And so, to build a business in this affiliate marketing model, where you're getting, such high percentages, you can be out enjoying your life and your family and, your purpose, and, serving the communities and causes that speak to your heart, and also not have to worry in the back of your mind, man, I got to get back to this business because I've been away from it for so long. And if you're managing all of the, again, if you're managing all of the, the merchant accounts and the resources and the customer service and all that sort of stuff, employees, maybe, it gets to be quite a headache. And I know, I've done it on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, it's a whole different type of freedom when you know that you can step away, and there's nothing that you need to be, like I support my people, when they come in, and I make sure I welcome them in and I give them some help getting started, but then they get plugged into our community and everything else is handled for them, and we have the most amazing community, which I think is one of the most important things to say about this place, because like you touched on before, Nick, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of shiny objects, and there's a lot of ways that you can, make some quick money on the internet, but to have a community of heart-centered people. And I really feel like this is a match made in heaven. I'm going to get emotional, but you were just talking about Mike and Paul and how they really are people first. And I feel like because of that, and because of their hearts, and because because of their experiences in the past with getting burned with different things where they change the comp plan or a company goes away or whatever, they wanted to create something that was going to be around long term. Right. And that would attract the right people, the type of people, the heart-centered people. And so that's what they've done. And then, they attracted you, Nick, who came in and started, volunteering and donating your time and your mastery to create all of these amazing resources for us without even asking for anything in return. That's the type of leaders that we have inside of our community. And so now that's the type of people that we attract into our community, which just goes back to the whole, reason why we have this application process in place, is to make sure that, yeah, the 30-minute workday brought in 65,000 people in a couple of months, but we weren't like-minded. We weren't all like-minded. It was a mix of the heart-centered people and the people that just, it was a money grab for them. And so I know for all of us that are immersed in this community, we want to keep it sacred. It is a sacred place. It's just full of some of the most amazing people I've ever seen. And I know that, it trickles down from the top, like it does in a lot of companies with Mike and Paul, but because of their hearts and their integrity and their leadership, it's been able to create the most amazing leaders and members. And it does feel like a place where if we were all stranded on a desert island together, we would have a really good time together. We would have some really deep conversations, and we would have a lot of fun together. And I also feel like because of this community, it's why we're all going to be able to succeed over the long haul right here, rather than always having to jump and try to find the next shiny object. Because I feel like this community is one of the biggest factors when it comes to long-term success, is having people that will hold you up and support you and breathe life into you. I am blown away every day we have a 24/7 leadership chat that goes on inside of our community. And, there's new people in there that have questions or whatever. And I'm always blown away by the level of leadership, from industry veterans that are in there just providing support, as well as people that are just a couple steps ahead that just came in maybe the month before that knows the answer to the question. Everybody just really wants to help each other. And it's just such an amazing community. So I'm grateful to be a part of it. And I think, yes, we have an incredibly well done, amazing copywriting, everything, funnel that converts, that works really well. And we have amazing products and training and all, everything like that. But the community is like the icing on top, in my opinion, and the glue.
I think the community really is everything. And for those who, are watching this or, maybe listening to it, a couple of things that Amy just sort of said in there that maybe got by you. Number one is that she got emotional talking about the ownership of this company. Now, how many people do you know get emotional are that tied to, the ownership and their mission, and feel that good about what they're doing, that it actually, stirs up some emotion in them. And I think that's huge, because like I said, I've been in all different parts of this journey, and I've done some things that, I would never do, again. I've done a lot of things that I'll do forever. But when you have something that you feel like you can stand on and stand behind and stand with people, something that you feel good about long term, you're going to build your business in an entirely different way. I know, early on in my career and at different points throughout my marketing career, I've marketed stuff, recommended stuff, built around stuff that I knew I had reservations about, or that I didn't know was going to be around long term, or that I didn't really feel in my heart that it was going to serve people at the absolute highest level. And so what I'll say to you is that when your passion wavers like that, your business will too, and your business won't grow like it should grow. But when you can stand behind something, you can stand behind the mission, you can stand behind the people, and you can actually stand with those people as something that you want to do long term, it changes everything. And your marketing will change. People will feel your marketing change. People will, we live in this age where we do a lot, back and forth through cameras or audios or computer or whatever. But the emotion still translates. It translates across the screen. It translates across the audio. And so if you aren't emotionally vested in what you're doing, and this goes back to, all of this training we really go through in depth inside of, all of our training, knowing your customer, knowing what they want, and actually wanting to serve them at the highest level. Because if you aren't wanting to serve people at the highest level, they know it. And it shows. And whether you think it shows or not, it always does 100% of the time. And being able to stand, with people like Mike and Paul and Amy and this entire community, my marketing is better just from an emotional standpoint, because I'm passionate about it. I stand behind it. I have no reservations about it. I love it. And I have no problem telling people that if you want to, get these results, these are the things that you need, and these are the best. This is the best place to get it. But also, when you are that passionate about something, your wantingness and your willingness and your commitment to actually get the skill to do it, it changes. And so, because I know at what level I want to help people, and also that I'm in the right place to do that, I want to know and learn and do everything that I possibly can to be able to get this in front of people, because I know it will change. I know it will change their life. If you aren't feeling 100% behind something, then that will affect, how much effort you put into it, because you just won't be that invested in it. You'll have reservations, and it's just human nature if you're not 100% vested in something, you won't put all of your effort into it. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about, Amy, is that, you sort of mentioned a little bit about, bouncing around, and how good does that feel? It feels, as somebody who's bounced around, quite a bit over, nearly 20 years of doing this, it feels so good to have a home that I know is going to be here for the long-term future, because of who runs it, because of how it's run, because of the community that is here. This is something that will be here for a very, very long time. And, something that I've touched on, here and there over the last, year or two, that I don't talk about a whole lot. But I was leaving the industry entirely. I had gained a new skill to be able to, create wealth in a different way that I really didn't need to serve anybody but myself to do it. But number one, I wasn't feeling great about that, because I know what my mission is. I feel like I have a God-given calling to not only, have gotten myself free, but to share that freedom and to help other people, be free. But I just wanted to be in this industry. I wanted to be, helping people. And I was on my way out. And I think it was Paul who I somehow opened an email or something from Paul, who just kept reaching out, who with, his vision and his goals and his heart. And, I saw what was going on here, and, now I couldn't leave. Even if I was trying to get away, it's just, once you're inside of this community, you'll get it. But it's just a place that you won't want to leave ever. And so, those couple of things, I really hope that, everybody who listens or watches this definitely takes those things away from this.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like you said, like bouncing around, when you're bouncing around, number one, you start to lose credibility with your audience because you're constantly promoting something new, but you also start to lose steam. It's like, because your heart just isn't in it. And the way that I feel about this place, I always say I love this place. I'm going to get emotional again. But it's something that I'm so proud to be able to hang my hat here. And I see it as my legacy. Like, this is something that I want to share with people because I know that it can change their lives. And I'm not going to hold back from doing that, because I know what's possible. I've seen it change people's lives, so rather than it being just some vehicle to earn income for me and my family, that's not what it is for me. It really is. It's my legacy. It's something that I want to shout from the rooftops about. And that's a huge difference. There's a huge difference when you have something that feels that way, how it comes across when you talk about it, or how much you want to talk about it. I think I have like 65 videos on my YouTube channel just about the HBA funnel builder alone. You know what I mean? I'm like, look at this thing. It's so amazing, but I just can't shut me up. Like,
but I hope what people also notice, like, if you're watching or listening, like, see Amy's energy and hear Amy's energy. Because, part of the reason that, I'm so committed to getting people free from their jobs isn't so that people can just be lazy and not do anything for the rest of their lives. It's because I fully believe that the work you do in your life should give you energy. And so many people are at these, careers or jobs or whatever, that they go to this place and it's a constant 5 or 6 days a week. It's a constant zap of their energy. And then, the 1.5 or 2 days that you have that you don't have to, spend at that career or that job, you're trying to sort of like, replenish that energy and get it back and, rest and do whatever. I think it should be the absolute other way around. I think that the work that you do, it should light you up. Like, it, talking about the funnel builder was lighting Amy up. And if you've seen any of her funnel builder videos, you've seen this, a bunch of times. But the work that you do should give you energy. And then when you are off of you should be, in my opinion, you should be looking forward to going back to that work, because you know that that work has purpose. You know that that work is serving people, and that and it just the only way that I can explain it is that when you're doing, something that you love to do, something that you feel like you were meant to do, and you're serving the people that you were meant to serve, it just lights you up all the time. It gives you energy, and in those times in business, because listen, affiliate marketing or not, a business is a business, and there are going to be times where it's I don't like to call it a hustle or a grind, because I don't do much hustling or grinding and all that sort of stuff. I believe in using the tools and the automation and things like that that are there for me. But there are times where you're just building your business, and your business isn't always going to be roses and rainbows, whether you're a part of the greatest community and greatest products ever. It's just life is life and business is business. So you're going to need that energy, number one, just because you should be spending as much time in that positive energy as you need, as you can, really. But number two, there are going to be times where if you aren't fully believing in what you're doing, for example, a lot of people just show up to work and they don't put in the best effort, not because they're lazy and not because they're a bad human or anything like that. It's just human nature that if you aren't fully energized by something, it's not going to get your best effort. So there are days where I know I've got to do stuff for my business that maybe it's not my favorite thing to do, right? But I'm so fully energized by my mission, by my purpose, by my goals, by being able to serve the people that I know I was meant to serve, that no matter what I'm doing in my business, it doesn't feel like quote unquote work. It's just me being able to be in that place where I really want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that about this place, and I 100% agree about our level of energy and passion and success that we're going to have when we have something that we really believe in and love, is going to be completely different than if we're just going through the motions trying to do something just for the sake of making a living. So this has been an amazing conversation, and I really hope that anybody that's listening to this will really get a better understanding about kind of the thought process behind everything that goes on here, and the type of community that we have, and the leadership that we have, and the incredible products that we have. And regardless of where you're watching or listening to this, there'll be a link or something around here where you can get more information from whoever shared this with you. Nick, before we end this call, was there anything I didn't ask, or anything, last thoughts that you wanted to share?
No, I think it was a great call, and thanks for having me. The thing that I will just say to anybody listening, that if you are trying to build an affiliate business, if you are trying to build your own business, it's really, really difficult to find a place that not only has everything you need, but that is so people centered, so community centered, so freedom and forward mission centered. This company, more than anything that I've ever been a part of, looks to the future. But the cool thing is that it's looking to the future of other people. Like, how can we help more people? How can we serve more people? How can we make our tools and training and resources and community better? For example, we built even these funnels around attracting the right people, right? Because we want to surround you with not just the right tools, not just with the right resources and training, but the right people that are going to lift you up at the right time and help you build whatever it is that you want to build. And so if you want to be in a place that has everything you need and the people, and will give you the energy that you need to build whatever you want to do, then this is, in 20 years of being online and building businesses, I've never seen anything that even comes remotely close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One last thing that I just wanted to mention about the community is one of the other things that is very different than any of the other communities I've been a part of online is that when they do, we haven't had a live event since I've been in the Home Business Academy because of COVID. But when they do live events, they don't charge for them. They just find a place and people can come and get their hotel rooms and just so that people can be together because there's that much love in our community that it's not about making money. It's not about people pitching stuff in the back of the room. It's not, it's just an opportunity for us to bond on another level when we can come together in person. And so I'm looking forward to when that day comes again and we can do that again. But I've never been in a company where I didn't have to buy a ticket to an event or like where I wasn't going to be shamed if I didn't show up,
Right.
cause
That you had to get the latest upsell once you were there and stuff. And, I
Mhm.
think what's important to understand about that, if you're looking at a bigger picture from a business standpoint, and building your business the right way, the neat thing about being a part of a company that builds on principles and all of their products and services and tools are based on principles is those things don't change. And so, you don't always need a brand new product. You don't always need a brand new shiny object. You don't always need a brand new training. Yeah, there's tiny little things that change here and there. And of course, we cover those really on a weekly basis because we have basically a what's working now call that we talk about every single week. um, but when you know that you've got the skills to do this long term and you've got the principles down, you don't have to like try and sell people on more and more stuff. And the other side of that is, it's part of why this is an amazing community and people stick around. It's because once you get on the inside, you're not being told to buy 1,000 things that you don't need, or a constant recommendations. Or like Amy said, I've been in companies, some of the same companies as Amy, where if you didn't buy the $5,000 thing, you were somehow shamed and nobody wanted you around. It's not like that at all. And so you can come in here with a budget that is friendly to anybody who wants to build a business, and know that it's not a company that's just going to try to keep taking money from you. They're going to give you a million times more value than what you ever have to put financially in here, which is it's so tiny of an amount. I can't even believe that
I
Mike
know.
and Paul do it, and then give basically so much of it away between donating to charities and giving it to their actual affiliates who love the company. It blows me away.
hmm Yeah, it's neat. I know you mentioned it, but the Feed My Starving Children is the main charity that is supported through our efforts here. And like Nick said, they take a cut of the company's money. Like the affiliates still get their full 80%, but for every sale that each of us makes, Mike and Paul take a percentage of that and donate it to Feed Starving Children. And we get messages, we get to kind of follow along with these kids who are being fed. And we've fed hundreds of kids like for like long term. And it feels so good to know that my efforts are actually doing that. Like it's just a whole other level of service that I feel really good about being a part of providing and helping these children. So it's just, yeah,
I mean,
such
just
an,
by being here, we've helped contribute to almost, I was looking at the numbers the other day. It's almost 250,000 meals now, that
mm-hmm,
just by being here and being behind a
mm-hmm,
company that is doing the right things, that we've been able to help contribute to. And that, that's why I say it's a company that looks to the future freedom of not just themselves and not just even their own community members, but going out and actually serving in the world. Because if you're building something just for yourself, really what what purpose is that going to serve long term? But when you're building something that is based on serving people outside of yourself, you build in an entirely different way, and you want to continue doing things the right way because you want to continue to grow, and so you can serve more and more people. And I've never met anybody more servant driven than Mike and Paul. And again, they prove it with the hardest thing to prove it with money. They do it on a daily basis by giving such a high percentage away between affiliates and, actually helping feed children.
Yeah, they've talked about having one of our next events be so that we can go to the headquarters of Feed My Starving Children. We can all kind of donate some time and help, kind of behind the scenes over there, which I think would be really cool to
That'd be amazing.
do some hands-on stuff with the charity that we all support. But yeah, it's just a good vibe all around here. So anyway, I hope that has been brought to the surface in depth in this conversation. I feel like it has, because again, which is why I wanted to have this conversation. This is not just another shiny object. This is not just another funnel. This is not just another system or another affiliate program. This is something a lot deeper than that, a lot more than that. And it's not for everybody. We are wanting to attract the people, the heart-centered, service-oriented people. And, and if that's not you, that's totally fine. But I just wanted to make sure that the word got out about actually what this is, and on a deeper level than meets the eye if you just go to, opt in to learn more about it or whatever. But we will give you the opportunity to do that again. Whoever shared this video with you will have their link, or you can ask them for their link, or it'll be somewhere near this video and you can get more information, get yourself on the inside if you feel like this would be a good fit for you. And thank you, Nick, so much for being here today. It's always so good to connect with you and cry with you as I get emotional every time talking about this place. It blows my mind. So anyway, thank you for being here, and for all of the value that you provided today and that you provide on a daily basis inside of our community.
Oh, well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I hope this video and this call or this podcast, if you're listening or you're hearing, even if it's not for you, share it, because I really, really feel like this message, of freedom and doing it in the right way is exactly what we all need to, build a place where we just love being, and we want to serve more and more. So if you want to be here, awesome. Take whatever action is on this page. If you don't, at least share it with somebody who wants to be free and who would align with us. And we promise to serve them at the very highest level.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, you guys, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video or podcast episode. We'll talk to you soon.